What's up guys, Thork here with another video, and today we're checking out the Veng Pally. In fact, we're going to see how far it can possibly be taken. This is a really strong setup. In fact, it could even be taken further, but it's almost pointless. 20k Vengeance with Conviction, lower res on the weapon, my Merc is proccing lower res and giving me Vigor. There's other directions we could take here with Mercs as well. I was experimenting with an Act 2 Merc with Stormspire, so he's proccing Static Field. Lowering the light res of the enemies on top of Conviction and lower res. The main source of damage is fire, but lightning is the secondary main source, and you can see I'm not really doing any cold damage or poison. Res are a little overstacked, not for any particular reason, just kind of ended up being that way. Fire Pierce is at 83, Elemental Mastery is at 40 for fire, hit recovery is 55, puts us at the 48 breakpoint, 100 attack rating, 90 IAS, which is perfect, because with the Conquest Sword, the second last IAS breakpoint is 80 something without Fana, and that's enough to make it fast. If you really wanted to push it, you could get IAS slams and try to get it up to the very last breakpoint, but it's not really necessary. So before I do a full rundown of the gear, I just want to show you how this is in maps. Pretty good. So we're still at 20k after battle commands and stuff. Bigger, obviously really nice to get running this fast. But I mean, it one-shots just about everything. So powerful. This is a corrupted map as well. It's rare. Now I know this is a tier 1, but it actually does okay on thrones as well. And some other T3s and T2s. And the real nice thing about having, like, I have high fizz damage, high light damage, high fire damage. There's not a lot of immunes that can really slow me down. And we're running with a 80% chance to chain on each hit with the Vengeance. I mean, it's so fast. And this map has like that curse that slows you down, and it doesn't really even matter. And it doesn't really even matter that much. Not even using Joust. So there you go, when you use Joust it's even faster because you get that increased run walk. And I'm not sure if it's going to give me enough attack speed to hit the final breakpoint, but it helps get you there. You'll notice here that I haven't chained Fire proc. It's from my gloves. Not actually going to give you any more damage. That's not actually going to give you any more damage, but what it will do is give you more attack rating, which is always nice. When I was using the Act 2 Merc with the Stormspire, I was actually using a Blessed Aim Merc. You know, so that I would hit more. But I definitely think Vigor is the way to go, at least for me. I like being able to run really fast, get through a map quickly, especially when you can just one-shot everything like this. So for gloves, I'm using Lava Gouts. If you can get the IAS somewhere else, Helmets are actually a little stronger for this build, especially because it's fire focused. It has a lot of flat fire damage. And yeah, it's just really good. They're actually clean, and I have Life After Kill on the Merman Sprockets. 2 SOJs, one with Life After Kill, one with PDR. Nas Coil, this is basically just for the attack speed. The lifesteal kind of helps, but really T-Gods is the best thing you could put here. Again, if you could slam it with IAS. Corpsemorn, +1 skill 2 socket. A 3 socket with 3 faucets would also be really, really good. Hadriel's Hand, this is a declone sword, if you don't already know. And this is insane. 4 sockets with 4 +5 -5 fire faucets. And it just adds so much flat fire damage. It procs lower res on striking, which is insanely powerful. We've got a +1 skill 2 socket Kiras with 2 +5 -5 fire faucets. High Lord's Wrath 2 skill. Phoenix. Not only does this really help with sustain, but the minus to fire res is actually really good for this build. Pierce is more powerful than the +% damage for Vengeance for sure. Almost all of my charms are elemental damage charms. Again, like I was saying with the flat damage on the items, this is much stronger than % damage charms for fire. And I also have, that should be lightning really, not cold. I have mostly fire and then some lightning. I found if I used all fire, it wasn't as strong as having some lightning in there with it. So a 2 skill Annie, Torch, and there's just a few charms here that are, oh, that's great. And there's just a few charms here that are not elemental damage charms. CTA, HOZ on swap, and then the Merc is using a Pus Spitter, Drax, he doesn't even have boots, Verdungo's, Fortitude, and Andariel's Visage. Boots on her. So like I said in the intro, You could try other mercs, and it might seem redundant that I'm proccing low res twice, but she's shooting arrows at enemies at a distance and proccing it basically all over the place with a higher lower res than this cast. But even without the lower res proc, this thing is insane. If my merc dies and I'm fighting a boss, I'll still get my lower res proc. Okay, so we already went over this sheet. Now let's take a look at the skills. So, max out Vengeance, I always put 1 point in Joust, 1 point in Holy Shield, and then you use Dexterity to get max block. Max out Conviction, Holy Shock, and Holy Fire. I don't use any defensive auras. And then as you keep leveling, put them into Holy Freeze so that your Vengeance gets stronger because it's a synergy. See on the bottom there. And now I'm just going to run through Cow Map and get as far as the boss, just to show you guys how hard this hits. And I'll put on some music in the background. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching again. If you like build videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.